For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy.
Enormous blocks of stone, gigantic, weighing hundreds of tons. Massive, completely anonymous monuments about which we know nothing.
They are not fallen angels. They are critters.
We are sharing the planet with a species that's possibly as far in advance of us as we are from chimpanzees.
Guerrillas by night instead of armies by day.
I started as a military journalist, and at some point 15 years ago I started to write books about the history of the Second World War and the Third Reich, and in particular. And throughout these 15 years I tried to gather on my own various materials, documents. It describes various secret projects of the Third Reich, but the most important part of it is the one that deals with anti-gravity, which is something that wasn't known before, and I think that most of the information presented here is new, almost everything. It was something that looked just like from another world. It was so shocking and presented such a new picture of the German research in the Second World War. Something that was breaking all the known rules as far as the research is concerned. Such a shield, such a cylinder, which was covering certain rotating cylinders inside. It was at first glance it was simple, but the effects of this of its operation were very complex and impossible to explain by an entire team of specialists who was dedicated to the explanation of this device in the 1960s, for example. It appeared that the main aim of this device was to accelerate heavy ions, namely of mercury, and spin them at very high angular speeds in order to observe or to create some strange effects, some strange energies produced by this device. Professor Walter Gerlach, before the war, was trying to create some fields, according to his letters to another scientist, to Arnold Sommerfeld, for example, to the Soviet scientist Piotr Kapica. According to this, it was something that was basing on the nature of the ball lightning, Kugelblitz. And he was trying to accelerate the ions of mercury and observe the effects. It is something that is completely missing from the common or the canon of the scientific publications about the Second World War. It's something that is missing. I have gotten to descriptions of modern scientific experiments. It's a scientific paper which describes something that resembles replication of these German experiments, in which the scientists, it was in 1989 as far as I remember in the UK, in which the scientists had managed to obtain 50% reduction of the gravity. nevertheless, it confirmed that such an explanation, that such effects could indeed take place, and it could be an anti-gravity device. There are reports of the witnesses, I mean these prisoners of war, SS officers, and one of them described this that this device, the Glocke, the bell, was surrounded by a circle of cables, which were dozens of them. Each one of them was thick as a human arm. These witnesses saw this bell indeed as it worked, and it was such a high energy that the electromagnetic effects produced by the device, it produced very strong magnetic fields, so strong that it caused surges in the electrical installations, and the light bulbs were blowing at a distance of, as it was described, of around 150 meters. So it would have to be indeed very strong electromagnetic fields and very strong energy. In fact, there was a special power plant nearby, and the very thick cables were connecting this place with the power plant. There are certain theories, scientific theories, and they basically existed already then, which makes such a connections possible, which is the Jordan theory, and which makes a connection between isolation of electromagnetic fields and gravity, and several others, such as Einstein-Cartan theory, which makes connection with the spinning of the mass of the field. But that's one explanation, which is quite likely, and as I mentioned, the modern, recent scientific experiments have confirmed that in this case, in such a device, the relativistic of gravitational effects would be significant. Certainly, I'm sure of that, because it has been confirmed. The other explanation is that it could have played some role in the nuclear program. It could have something to do with nuclear weapons, but with weapons of a completely different kind that we know now presently. The Germans during the Second World War tried to explore two other ways to nuclear weapons. One of them was the thorium, making a bomb on the base of thorium, which is something that the American ALSOS mission, special mission, intelligence mission, was never able to explain why the Germans worked on thorium. They were never able to comprehend. As you can see, by this way of trying to explain the nature of the bell, I managed to unravel many other mysteries which I never suspected that such mysteries could have existed even before I started writing this book. So it's something that is a key to the history of the Second World War, I believe. Die Glocke, the bell, was almost finished by the Germans. It was carried out in Lower Silesia or Niederschlesien in German, and the device worked, but they only managed to to finish the phase of trials. The industrial phase was not even started, as far as I know. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe there was some place which I don't know. But it worked, and the efficiency was quite high. It was something that was completely new, completely different, and was forgotten. But if you or other researchers or modern German historians, that's an invitation to them, if they would take a closer look at the work and career of Professor Walter Gerlach, what was the purpose of his research on plasma and mercury, why it was so important, then you will find the answer and confirmation that it was indeed something going on there, something that was forgotten, and something very strange. If you compile such a forgotten, unexplained elements, then you will see that it was possible, and indeed the scientific foundations for such a breaking discovery was already there, and all these people in question had very, I would say, key positions in the history of the Third Reich science. It's very strange what I will say, but most of the stories connected with the Second World War are irrelevant, are just a past, and not conveyed to us anything. But this is the one exception which may tell us something valuable for the future. I think that the explaining of this riddle of the Glocke is a key to the understanding of certain modern aspects of our reality. I will not tell you how I came to such a conclusion, but in my opinion, let me just stay at this point, and it's just a copy of the anti-gravity proportion, and that's what it's all about. It hasn't been modified. I don't know what happened to Kemmler. I don't know. I'm not sure, so I will not say anything about it. But perhaps, along with Kemmler, perhaps. But the project was just... there was no continuation after the war. As far as I know, I didn't find any credible information that would suggest that the project or the scientific theories that I mentioned, that it was developed after the war. It just has ended and was interrupted, and I think that the world will come back to this someday. It doesn't seem possible for me that any SS officers which were brought to the United States could reveal such a secret, because first of all, the Operation Paperclip was very small, and as far as I know, no SS officer was brought to the United States in the frames of the Operation Paperclip. There were other operations as well, but nevertheless, I don't think it's possible. The rule was such that in such projects that only very few people, really few, knew the entire picture. All others knew only the elements and not necessarily knew the purpose of the entire project. They could not know that. They certainly didn't know. And if you eliminate certain crucial persons and only, let's say, 2 were left, then it's possible to keep it secret. I'm pretty sure that within a couple of years, or 10 years, or 15 years, there will be a breakthrough in this field. From the point of view of the scientific theory, I think the breakthrough is very close. It's a question of a couple of years. I don't think so, that it will be of earthly origin, what we see in the sky. But it's just my personal opinion. I really don't know that. Nobody knows that. But you know, one of the it may look strange that I, as a historian basically, and military journalist, made such a connection with the UFO. But I still know some people in the military in Poland who are dealing with the UFO, and what I saw and what I heard from them, it wasn't any secret. I'm not betraying any secret, but it was so shocking that it had to convince me. I met this guy in 1986 or 1987, I'm not sure. His name was Władysław Łuczak, or Wiesław Łuczak, excuse me. And what I saw on his table, it was really a world apart. I just saw analyses, various materials, diagrams, all various publications on the specific subjects involved, and it was just very serious stuff. Mm-hmm. It was, you know, he was talking about this normally, and it wasn't any secret then. Maybe later, maybe now it is a secret, I don't know, but then it wasn't a secret even. And he published even several articles about it as a member. I don't know if he introduced himself as a member of the General Staff, civilian employee in fact, but what I can repeat shortly is that as a military journalist, I had contacts with some people, and I know that the phenomenon that you're talking about is real, and it's something serious, and is contrary to appearances, is treated very seriously by several institutions. I know that.